Welcome everybody. My name's Kojo Boache. I'm a member of ROSAC, Royal Society of Social Culture and History. Um, I'm here with Himai Hene, and I actually passed by yesterday, and I initially met him in 2018 when I came to Ghana for about 3 months, spending time with my grandma. And one of the things that he told me when he saw me was, I've changed a lot. I look a lot bigger than I was before. And I told him that, I put on a lot of weight because of some medications that I've been taking. And these medications that I've been taking were as a result of mental health, which is a taboo in our society, in our culture. It's not something that is often discussed openly or welcomely, well, in a welcoming manner. But me and Himahine have a lot of understanding about this issue. Coming from abroad, there are a lot of issues that people face, that maybe are not so relatable over here. Certain traumas and certain difficulties that cause mental strain. You know, in 2011, I lost somebody very close to me. He was shot, and that put me in a state of trauma, shock. I handled it well initially because in society, men are not really seen to cry or to grieve in that kind of way. We try to be strong and we try to hold ourselves upright, and that's exactly what I did. When my cousin died, I didn't cry a lot. I didn't actually. I focused on making a documentary on his life, and then I went to go and do a master's degree the summer after he died, and I focused well on that master's. I got a distinction. My mind was working fine. I didn't have Nobody could see that I had mental strain or difficulty. But as the years went on, I lost more people to violence. And somebody called Dwayne Simpson, who was quite close to me and also close to my cousin that passed away, he was also stabbed and he died. And that was a trigger for me, which then opened the floodgates for trauma, and I became very anxious at times, and very defensive, very protective. I became strong, but in a way of maybe aggression, but it was really trauma that was causing me to have a lot of conflicts. I'd be wary of my surroundings. I'll think that people are trying to attack me. So I will defend. And where I come from, one of the best form of defense is to attack. And I used to get into situations in the past. But something that I told Hibahine about was that I've actually gone through a system, but I've actually come out of it the other end even stronger. I now work for the NHS. I now work for the same hospital that was actually keeping me as a patient. And now I'm an advisor in the area. I advise them on restrictive practice and patient safety. Um, and I'm now in a consultant position. And naturally, I have to look at what kept me strong. And that's what I've come here to discuss today. So it's been a long introduction, but I had to give a little bit of background for you to understand where I'm coming from. Because when we talk about mental health, people think of people walking down the road talking to themselves, people hearing voices. This is not what I went through. What I went through was trauma. And what a lot of people go through is depression. And a lot of people go through anxiety. But these things are not discussed. We're in a place where funerals are at the center of our culture, but we never discuss depression, which is something that is almost natural after a grieving process, you know? But being an Asante and understanding Asante culture and having the kind of caliber of people around me, like Teacher Kantanka and other chiefs such as Imai and others, I learned a lot of things, even about death and the afterlife, and how we pour alcohol or libation in honor of people that haven't left us. They're still able to be called upon, you know. So the concepts that I had was causing me to have an identity crisis, causing me confusion. Religion was one of them. You know, I used to be quite religious. I'm not against religion, but the concept of someone that you love burning in fire and you not being sure that they're in hell or heaven is a concept that, if had I had known my cultural concept, I wouldn't have gone through this amount of stress that I felt at the time. Now I know that people go to another level in life and you can still communicate and you can still appreciate their energy and their spirit. So now my issues with bereavement and depression and anxiety is gone because of the cultural understanding and the cultural strength. And had I not leaned on my own cultural understanding and my own cultural roots, maybe I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. You see, because I was broken, I was confused. You know, I'm reading King James Version, it's telling me this. But when I came to Ghana in 2018, I got all of the answers that I was looking for. And that managed to rearrange a lot of the problems that I was having in my mind. It put things in order. So during my time inside of the hospital, I spent a lot of time working on a model, a solution. And that solution is cultural therapy. Yeah. So it's a business model that um, you can say it's a mental health charity, but it's much bigger than that. So I look to people such as Dr. Sebi and other leaders who are looking at alternatives to the pharmaceutical industry, which we all know is for profit. A lot of people in the mental health industry suffer side effects, serious side effects. I have suffered the side effects. That's why I was 110 kilograms when I went there. It was muscle. Then I became out 150 kilograms. It was fat. The medication, the side effect, what it does to your metabolism. My hands were shaking. My brother said he couldn't recognize me when he came to visit me. My speech was slurred. My thinking was slow. But when I came to Ghana and I was eating the right foods from the earth, from the soil, not processed, being around people to have conversation, which was like talking therapy. In the UK, to get therapy can cost you hundreds of pounds. To get just a conversation with somebody who is not in legally allowed to advise you, they're only allowed to listen to you and not interrupt you. But me coming along my elders and sitting down and eating food from the same pot with the same hand and having conversations that are close to your heart, these things bring healing. Being in nature, being in nature, being in the sun, being all of these things brought me healing. So I have created a concept called cultural therapy because culture was therapeutic for me, and it's going to be therapeutic for many others that I know in the system, and that is the solution that I'm putting forward. So it's a charity that I hope that many of you viewers can contact me and get behind me, get more information about what I'm doing, and hopefully support, because the dots are already there. They just need to be connected. You see, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Our ancestors coped with things much harder than what we're coping with today. The amount of wars that we fought, the amount of deaths that we saw, the amount of grievous things that we saw, we didn't lose our minds. You see, because we had our coping mechanisms in place. We had our willpower in place, you know. So I have a t-shirt here which has the logo. I don't know if that's clearly in the shot, but as you can see, cultural therapy, we have the Sankofa in the logo. Yeah. We have love, which is God, you see. And we have a female energy representing Mother Nature, Mother Africa. You see, nature is the key. This is the medicine. All medicine really was inspired by nature. This is this is where we come from. You know, here we say, was it Asasia? Am I correct? Isn't it seen as a female? So this is what this represents. See, cultural therapy. I designed this myself. You see, my degree was economics, finance, and banking, but my master's was in design for digital media. So I work in mental health. So I'm equipped professionally, creatively, intellectually. All I need is just the support of the people around me. And one thing that I love about being an Asante is that we are a nation, like we have faculties and divisions. We have everything is so organized like an army. So all I need to do is talk to the generals, talk to the lead, the battalions, and get organized. You see, because I believe Otunfo, if I'm correct, said that we're no longer in the age of war, but now our war is business and economics and setting up institutions and stuff like that. So me, I'm Kojo Boachi. I believe I am a warrior, and I would have been a warrior then, but now economic empowerment is what I'm the war that I want to fight, and spiritual empowerment is what I want to fight. You see, the Western world has a very scientific view of mental health. What they're missing is the spiritual view. They don't believe in God. But as an Asante, God is everything in our culture. It's intertwined in every single thing that we do. Jinyame, fear nobody except God. If you have fear, how can you be paranoid? I mean, if you don't have fear, how can you be paranoid? You see? Why will you be anxious? You see? So, what I want to be doing in the future is setting up cultural exchanges for the diaspora. You see, to discuss things that are causing the trauma. At the heart of it, we're looking at the transatlantic slave trade, slavery, because a lot of the people in the diaspora are descendants of this humanity crime. This humanity crime has caused psychological difficulties in people in present day. Even though we're not physically going through slavery, people are still going through economic slavery abroad, cultural slavery, where they're made to give up their identity and take on the identity of something that is not their natural self. And when you're not your natural self, that strain is too much because you're swimming against the tide, literally. You see? So I want to set up exchange programs where the diaspora will be coming to Kumasi, where they can be coming to get the culture, the Amamre, if I've pronounced it correctly, where they can get the culture and learn. Because what is happening is that the tourism industry, everybody is going to Accra. They're going to Accra for luxury. They're going there to sit down and have stuff like shisha or go to the beach. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to culture, Kumasi, the Garden City, you're missing out. You need to come and connect with us. The Maroons, people speaking Cromanti in Jamaica, all of you who want to come home, come. Because there's an army waiting for you. We're here. And we want to reason with you. And we want to learn together. Yeah? We want to learn together and connect. So we want to do big things in this mental health charity. We want to be building guest homes, supported accommodations. We want to be having tours, lectures, seminars, conferences, and edutainment, which is education in an entertainment form. So we want to be having concerts. We can see what's happening with Afro beats and Africa connecting with the Jamaicans and so on. This is all part of Sankofa because they're coming back to their roots and embracing Africa. So There's too many things to mention, and I can't mention it all in this video. What I am saying is that I've lived it. I know what I'm talking about. I've survived it. Yeah. So being somebody that's gone through the system and come out from the other end to the point where they're advising the system, there are certain things that I've learned that I would love to teach people, that I would love people to come to meet me, that we can have private discussions and private reasonings, because not everything is for the public. So please, you need to come to see the villages that we've been developing that are healing centers in Kumasi. You see, like I said, we have an army. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. You see, I don't need to try and create a village when I know that Himayhene has already started this work. And Himayang has a place like a resort for the diaspora to come to for healing. And at this place, we can discuss the secrets that I have learned to get me out of the white man system. You understand? So please contact us. You see, there's so much to discuss. And Rosach, you have historians, book writers, lecturers, linguists, all sorts of people, a wealthy community waiting for you. You see? But like we say, not everything is for the public. We don't cast our pearls out onto the swine. So you have to come and retrieve it for yourself and download, There are so many herbs that are not popularly known about, but they're healing. You see? To keep your faculties at work, to keep your pineal gland open. You see? Your third eye. You see? Keep your vibration and your energy high. Open up what people call chakras. You see? But we have our own systems that are not as popularly known that you need to come and learn about. So, if anything that I've said previously has hit you in any kind of way emotionally, or you've been triggered in a positive way that you want to get involved with what I'm doing, please contact me on my telephone number, which is 07467 100 139. The country code is +44 for those who may not be aware, or you can alternatives take the number as 0044 7467 100 139, or you can contact me on my email address kojo.bonsu number 7 at gmail.com. So I'll spell that for you. That's KOJO full stop BONSU number 7 at gmail.com. And I work in affiliation with a powerful circle of movements and organizations. The first one I've already mentioned, Rosach, the Royal Society for Ashanti Culture and History. The second is the Asante Kotoko Society. The third is the Asanteman Community Foundation. The fourth is Pedagogy International. And the fifth one is the Diaspora Link. So these organizations are reachable. Their information will be shown at the end of this video. But please contact me via WhatsApp, via email. We also have a website, culturaltherapy.co.uk, where you can get a little bit more insight about what I'm doing. Yeah, so I think I'll leave things there, but please reach out to me and let's do the work of our ancestors. You see what I was saying about having an army and having people that are there for you. Being an Asante, I'm lucky to be connected to Himayhene, who has given me a plot of land to build and to do a community and a nation building work. So we're going to be creating a healing village in Himayang. And this is something that I've spoken about for years before any of this manifested, before mental health. Even when I was doing my degree and my master's, I was thinking about this. And now God has made it possible. So look, for all of the people overseas that are thinking about buying land to do anything similar to what I'm doing, why not unify and do it on one place? so that everything can be concentrated and coordinated. So if you want to do any business, if you're a herbalist, if you're into yoga, if you're into meditation, whatever it is that's your speciality, even if you just want to do the restaurant, a healing food, vegan food, electric food, whatever it is that you're interested in, contact me. Let's talk, let's combine minds together, and let's do something powerful. Peace.
Hello, my name is Kofi Apa Bonsu. My British name is Gerald. I am a co-founder of Cultural Therapy, but also the younger brother to Kojo Bachapa Bonsu. And I'm just here to really give, some testimony to what I've witnessed my older brother go through. I think what I would like to say is what he's been able to bring himself out of is incredible. I've had a front row seat to seeing my older brother really, you know, overcome something that was really something that was very spiritual that all of our family witnessed. And to give context, my older brother has always been a superhero to me from when I was a very little boy. And the reason why I say that is because we grew up in violent, terrible circumstances. But my older brother was always someone who kept his integrity intact. And all of his decisions were led with a good moral compass, and I'm very grateful that I was able to look up to that. He has always been someone that has been helping others, and unfortunately, the death of my cousin, our cousin, really hit both of us hard. It hit Michael hard, and unfortunately, because of that, he experienced some trauma that I witnessed him go through, and I witnessed him really try to remain positive in the face of this awful negative circumstance. And when his mental health was declining, I saw firsthand how the Western system was not helpful in helping him recover. It was almost counterintuitive. And you know, it really knocked my faith that he would be able to come out of it. And it's only through his willpower that he has come out of this. And he is now a shining example within that system of how to come out of that system. It's not even me that's saying that, it is actually the NHS that is calling him the shining light of what is supposed to happen to be rehabilitated through the system. And for Michael to still, after everything he's been through, to dedicate his life to helping others that have been through the system is a testament to his heart and his character. Because anybody that has gone through that system would never want anything to do with it again. But he's decided to dedicate his life to helping others that has been through that system. And I think that is incredible. I think what is I cannot stress enough, what is really incredible is remaining a good person, going through everything that he went through. And it's really helped me to remain a good person, which is why I spent my last year investing in new businesses. And that is very much a habit that I have picked up from my older brother, which is helping others. So, you know, I just wanted to add to the testimony that, you know, my older brother is a very powerful, great man that is tried and tested, and he knows exactly what is needed. So, cultural therapy, he spent years when he was in that system perfecting this. When I was going to see him, we would reason, we would talk about it. And it's beautiful to say that we are now in a position that we have a business model that we are 100% positive will help people from the diaspora. Not only people from the diaspora, but native Ghanaians as well that may not know, these cultural therapy systems. So please contact us, contact Michael, contact Kojo, and please help us to bring cultural therapy to the world. Thank you for listening.